Most definitely. I feel like we really got to take care of the ball down the stretch. We really got to lock in and talk a lot. Every play matters during the whole game, but really in the clutch, every play matters, every possession matters, and we just got to give it all every time.
For you, I guess what was kind of your mentality going into it? Because you obviously made a big bucket, and then obviously O'Banner made one afterward. But I guess just what was the mentality of you guys as you were just kind of making that charge late on in that game?
It was really like we just came together and we just had to keep our energy and keep our hands to the game, and we were like, never gonna go out without a fight. So we wanted to win for our team and everything like that, and it just was tough.
Bob, I guess for yourself, I guess do you kind of feel like your confidence is at an all-time high right now, or I guess how do you kind of feel you're playing right now with the way you're shooting and the way that you're kind of controlling the offense right now?
I feel like I'm playing well. I don't really care about that though. I want to win games at the end of the day, whether I play good or bad. Winning games is the only thing that really matters. And right now we're 0-2 in Big 12 play, so just got to keep pushing and get a win versus Oklahoma on Saturday.
Pop, Coach Self was pretty complimentary of your effort and what you were able to do out there today, especially towards down the stretch. How do you hope, I guess, that effort and attitude kind of resonates with the guys when things do get tough? Because you guys have been in plenty of tough and close games so far this year.
Yeah, it's a great learning experience for sure. Just to see us, stay resilient like that. Get ourselves back into that game and just keep fighting. Keep fighting for our fans, keep fighting for our coach. We kept fighting to try to win the game. So, I feel like that game it's a learning lesson down the road for sure. I think it taught us a lot of things, and I think it taught us we can't just play 20 good minutes of basketball. You got to play 40.
Pop, can you go over that last drive in your eyes? What happened?
I caught the ball, drove down middle. There was some contact. There was no call, obviously. It was a physical game the whole time. So, I don't really know what to say about it. I think it was a foul, but life's unfair sometimes. So, just got to keep pushing.
Thanks.
For both of you guys, your first kind of experience with Big 12 basketball in Lubbock, can you just give your thoughts on the environment and the game itself tonight?
Most definitely. For me personally, the environment has been amazing. The fans have been amazing, and just to play on such a big stage every game and every day is just a blessing in itself. But yeah, so for me personally, I feel like it's just been a great experience so far.
Yeah, for sure. Tonight was crazy, man. That was the biggest game of my life for sure. Versus Kansas, second Big 12 game. It's been great. The fan base here is so supportive, and I love Red Raider Nation so much, and I can't wait to see what happens for years to come.
All right. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
I go too.
Love you, Coach.
Love you too, Bob. Good game.
All right, guys, as a reminder, if you're going to have a question, raise it. She'll bring you the mic. We'll start with Mason in the back.
Coach, can you just walk us through kind of what you saw in that final possession of the game?
Oh, Mason, it was, Pops said it better than I could. Life is unfair, and there was a lot of contact. And that's a good refereeing crew, and we're hoping we'd get that call. And it just saddens me because for the players that played so hard, and they didn't want this winning streak coming in. Our fans have been great. Red Raider Nation has just been absolutely the best, and our guys love playing for the crowd and our fans, and it was a very painful time right after the game to talk about that. A lot of tears, but the guys just played their hearts out, and I was so proud of them the way they responded that second half, and it just hurts that the game had to end that way.
A lot of guys did seem emotional after the game. When you go to the locker room, I guess, what do you say to them since you're kind of in uncharted territory?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of mistakes that we made, but the most important things that we fought, we attacked, we didn't give up. We had, just a lot of our guys are very resilient and believed in each other down the stretch, and there's a reason that Kansas won a national championship last year, and they're third in the country now, and. A lot of times when you play those teams, you really have to go out and beat them. A lot of times they get the close calls, and But we'll continue to learn. And one thing we've learned we played great at TCU the first half and played really well against Kansas second. So we got to put those 20 minutes together and come up with a full game, and we're going to get there. Just fans need to be patient, and these guys are learning every day, and I'm so appreciative of how hard they're working.
And Pop just said it right there, that he said that was the biggest game of his life. Despite the loss, what did you see from the poise out of a freshman like that?
Well, I mean, Pop he loves to win, hates to lose, and you can see it how he works out and his personality, and he's just got a strong will, has a lot of confidence, and he may be a freshman, but he plays much older. So we're fortunate to have him. And again, there's another freshman, Lamar, that stepped up and played really well. And then we all know how great Kevin O'Banner was tonight. Again, that goes back to a guy that had one of his worst games of the year at TCU, and then he responded and like we knew a champion would in KO. And so just very pleased and impressed with how he played. I think he had 26 points, hit some big shots down the stretch. And I'm not sure if he got fouled on that last one, but he was fighting all the way through.
Coach, I believe the last 7 minutes or so we didn't see much of Davion Harmon. What went into that decision?
Well, and Davion has great attitude, and it just didn't seem to be his night. But he had some nice plays and a lot of great effort, and so we just thought we'd go with Lamar. But DH is still our leader, and he was very supported on the bench and still hurting after the game, and I'm sure he'll be back and play well against Oklahoma. But we just feel like that Lamar, with this matchup and all, just seemed to fit a little better.
After Tyson's foul on what could have been called a block in the second half, you gave the refs the business, went to the timeout, came back, got the chief and gave him a pat on the butt. What goes through your mind when you know you may have not gotten a call, but hey, there's still a game to play?
Yeah, and in that particular situation, I didn't want to try to call it and embarrass the official. He did come over later, said, I think I might have missed that call. My complaint was just that was not a good shot, and I just don't like it when officials may bail out a player, reward them on either end. I mean, I don't ever complain when they do it. If our guys take a bad shot and they get fouled, I tell our guys, you're very fortunate that happened. Don't take that shot. So, but our defense is really good that possession, and I thought we did everything just right, and it was a critical part of the game, and boy, we really needed that call.
Coach, fast break points have been a big part of your offense recently. Tonight, only 5. And it looked to me like you were trying to push it a lot in the first half, but not so much in the second half. Did you you were turning the ball over a little bit in the first half. Did you kind of intentionally dial it back a little bit?
Yeah, when you make those adjustments at halftime, we're playing a very fast team, and we wanted to play fast with them, but they're better at it than we are, And so when they play the way they do, that up-tempo, then they're used to getting back on defense, and so they don't give up many transition points. And so we felt like we need to slow it down and play more in the half court. And one of the big challenges, and I told our guys, is that we're spending all the time on the defensive end. Even though they push the ball, they'd get down there and they'd work it and work it. They had 22 assists. And after the game, I told our guys, these are things that we can learn from a championship team like Kansas, that they really share the ball. And so as we grow and mature as a basketball team, we'll get better at making those easy passes and extra passes. But Kansas did a great job. They have a lot of respect for our defense, and they were moving that ball.
Yeah, and I was wondering, speaking of your defense, in the first half it looked like those actions from KU were creating a lot of open shots, both down on the baseline and even on the perimeter as well. In the second half, those shots became much more difficult, and I was just wondering about any defensive adjustments you did make in the second half.
Well, we just talked to the guys about believing what we do, and when they spread you out the way they do and have that much spacing, it's difficult to guard. And we talked about halftime, just believe in our process. Go back and let's just go back to just our fundamentally sound basketball and go back to our fundamentals and just to believe in that. And we did much better that second half.
Mark, did you expect Harris to shoot like that? I mean, or was that a surprise a little bit?
No, it wasn't. Last year this time we really backed off Jalen Harris and then he was not shooting the ball well at all last year, and then until he played us here, and I think he had 2 or 3 or 4 threes, but no, we've seen him play great all through the Big 12 and through the non-conference schedule. So he's a great player. He's one of the best players in the country. So our scouting report was to stay on him. He's a 3-level player, but don't let him shoot threes. We missed him. We lost him a lot in the way they were moving the ball.
Lots been talked about the turnovers, but only 6 in the second half. Do you
I
see
know.
that improving?
Yeah,
each game?
it is. It's just if we can, hold on to that and get better at those turnovers and cut those down a little bit, and and then again we've got to be a little bit. We got to execute a little bit on offense, and then the transition's so tough. We've got to get back and do a better job of that. I was looking at their offensive rebounds, but again they had 11 offensive rebounds, and it's about twice as many as we try to hold our opponents to. But boy, they hustle and they play at a different level, and that was somewhat disappointing that they were able to get in there and run by our guys, and we weren't able to hit and block them out. So it's a lot of things we'll go back and look at the film and learn from. But again, the most positive thing about this game is that besides a great crowd and they kept us in the game, but our guys responded to the crowd, responded to a very good Kansas team, and I thought we played really well at the end, in which we needed to, and we can build on that.
Mark, obviously the improvement from the TCU game was better foul shooting, and
how about that? It couldn't have been much worse, Phil. When we shot 50%, but I think you and I could have shot better than that. But that's we did a much better job there. And we got a chance to work on it. We worked a lot on it in the last few days, but 83% is a great mark to hit.
How important is it for KO to get out to a great start?
It seemed like last game at TCU that certainly that bothered him, and I think he was forcing some shots, and it got to him a little bit. But he's a experienced player, mature. He's been through every situation you can imagine, and again, we had no doubt he'd come out and play well tonight.
Coach, this was a close game, close possessions there at the end, 9 different times where the lead was changing. What are you telling your guys going into OU on Saturday?
Okay, I hadn't a chance to catch my breath yet and think about OU, but they're a very good team. We got some veterans back, and we have to protect our home court. So we got to find a way to win this game and get back in the Big 12 race.
Coach, only one player besides O'Banner and Isaac scoring in double figures. How much of a concern is that to you going into the rest of conference play?
Well, we've got Jalen Tyson's a guy that can score, and he's playing better. He's put 2 good games back to back, and he's very capable of scoring. One of our best 3-point shooters, and we've got some other guys that we expect to get Kerr and Walton going. I was glad he took that shot, and because he makes them every day in practice. So I told him after he shot, I was proud you had the courage to shoot that. But but again, I haven't talked about Daniel Baccio. I mean, he was you can see not even close to the player he is. He's lost that weight, and he's still trying to recover from that stomach virus, and it's taken him a few days to do that. But he's lost a lot of weight. He didn't work out yesterday or the day before, just drinking a lot of fluid. So we get him back. I mean, he's been averaging double figures. So there's a lot of bright spots and things to look forward to, and getting Doss back on the floor along with Baccio health, he's going to, that's a lot to be optimistic about.
I was just curious about your thoughts on Kevin McCullough's return and the reaction he got from the crowd. Were you shocked by it at all? And just your thoughts on that?
No, that's our fans. That's just kind of a warning. Don't leave Texas Tech, or you'll get the wrath of the crowd. But that's just part of it. Those are great fans. I expect that. But I talked to Kevin after the game. He made a big shot there late in the game. Kevin's a great competitor, and he's done a lot for Texas Tech and our program, and we have a lot of respect and love for him, and I'd like to think he feels the same way.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay.